What up, everybody? It's your homie Reckless. I'ma teach y'all how to take a motherfucking bearing out of a shitty motor and replace it with some new ones. How about that?
So this is what you need to be able to change your bearings. A fucked up motor, a screwdriver that can go inside the bearings, an M3. I would actually prefer an inch or longer for that one, and a shorter M3. And then I have needle nose pliers and flathead pliers. I don't have a C-clip on this motor because I lost it. These motors are crap. I wouldn't recommend getting these Racer Star Sprague motors. Every crash magnets come out. They're just not very good quality motors. So the needle nose pliers I use just to pop a C-clip off. I will actually put them to the side of the C-clip and kind of pop it off. Sometimes it goes flying and you kind of got to look for it for a minute. I don't have any proper C-clip tools, but yeah, that's how I would take off a C-clip. Then you want to pull your bell off like so. Now, the whole idea of switching bearings is to be able to protect these windings. You don't want to mess up your windings because then your motor is going to be garbage. So, sometimes I will do this on an old arm if the arm has a hole bigger than a bearing, so that if the bearing can fall through. But the way I'm going to do it is just on this pair of pliers. Make sure your pliers are wide enough that the bearing's gonna fall out in between, and you want to start by knocking out the bottom bearing. Oh, I guess I need a hammer too to do this, so there's my hammer. Now I'm gonna stick this little tiny screwdriver in here, and I'm gonna tap out that bottom bearing while being very, very careful about these windings. So sometimes you want to kind of work your way around. Now these are old bearings, so it doesn't matter if you damage them. I've had them come out in pieces before. So yeah, just tap away and keep going around so that it comes out even. Makes it nice and easy when it comes out even. Camera's going all over the place. All right, so as you can see, the bearing fell out the bottom. Now, one way of getting this top bearing out is to actually throw an M3 through it and then yank on that M3 with a pair of pliers till it pops out, because you want to protect these, like I said. Or if you're confident in your skills, then you can actually just stick a screwdriver in there and actually hold the bearing and very lightly tap that out. And it's coming slowly. Sometimes it takes a few hits. I'm gonna use this Allen key because it will go through but not into my hand. And there we go. She popped right out just like nothing. Sometimes they get damaged when you're pulling them out, but it's an old bearing anyways, so it's no big deal. Throw those off to the side. Now, as you can see, I just have the bottom of the motor. I haven't damaged the windings or anything, and that's the main point of switching bearings. You don't want to damage these windings, like I said. Now, what I am going to do to stick your first bearing in, and it's good to keep your old bearings for the next steps. So, you're going to want to put your top bearing in first. Make sure it's somewhat lined up and it's going to go in straight. Then I'm gonna grab one of these old bearings and an M3 and just stick it through like that so that when you're knocking the new bearing down, you aren't damaging it. Put that through there like that. Hold it nice and steady and just nice and easy. Actually going in a little bit crooked. There we go. And just tap her down, not too hard. You don't have to go crazy. You're not sinking a nail. And once it's all the way in, voila. And now for the bottom one. And it's pretty much the same process. You just want to make sure it's going in straight. And then you want to get your longer M3 now. Now this is why I would actually like a 1-inch or longer M3, because then you can go all the way through. And if you really want to get fancy, you can actually stick your other old bearing on there and then put a nut and washer and then slowly tighten the nut and washer to pull this other bearing in. But obviously I don't have a longer M3, so we're just gonna do it like this and very lightly tap the new bearing in. And voila. New bearings in the motor. And then obviously stick your bell on there and voila. Good as new.
And that is it. That's all it takes to change a bearing. Very easy process, but like I said, keep those windings in mind. You don't want to mess the windings up. And that's the end. If you like this and you want to see lots more, or you want to show your support, check out my Teespring, grab yourself some merch, check out the Patreon, buy me a beer and send something to my PayPal. You don't have to, you can just say fuck you and that's it. But yeah, that's the end of that. Thanks for watching.